Good morning and welcome to The Point. It is Thursday, September 3rd, 2020. Thank you to those of you joining us across the various platforms, those of you watching on GBN TV channels 7, 11 and 20, those of you listening to Classic 105.5, 105.9. I have to double check to see if our social media platforms are up, but in the meantime, we're going to open the phone lines. It's Open Line Friday. Yes, I see Facebook is up. Good morning to the folks on the GBN Television Facebook page. Those of you joining us on the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Open Line Friday, Open Line Thursday. Open Line Thursday here on To The Point. 435-2041. That's the landline number to call and participate. It's also the WhatsApp number, 435-2041. Please, no phone calls on the WhatsApp, only written messages. No links, no pictures or videos, only written messages, please, on WhatsApp. You can also participate in the open phone line or in the open line on the GBN Television Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Let's go to our first caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, my darling.
Good morning, Miss Jeremiah.
Let me load on the radio. It's far from me, but it's still making some noise.
Yes.
My apologies for that. Yeah.
No problem.
I just want to read some verses from Malachi. It's just 6 verses. Malachi chapter 4. And I want us to pay attention very closely to what God is saying. He said, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And you shall go forth and go up as calves of the stall. And you shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, said the Lord of hosts. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgment. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the children to the fathers, and the heart of the fathers to the children, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." I want to read that last verse again. "And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." Those fathers who let go the sperm and they never look back, and those children are, they grow up and they're suffering because no fathers. God takes this very seriously. God is our Father, and he knows what fatherhood is. And if he gives you the ability to be a father, take it seriously, because he said, if he don't send the prophet Elijah to turn back the hearts of the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children, he's going to let a curse, he's going to smite the earth with a curse. So fathers, take warning. God bless you, baby, and have a blessed week.
Thank you, Ms. Jeremiah. You too. Open phone line here on the program, 435-2041. That's the landline number. It's also the WhatsApp. Please, only written messages on WhatsApp. You can also participate on the GBN Television Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Very good. Now, I would like to say this. Now, I think I have a very serious issue with GBN. I'm very disappointed with the product that they are offering to us when it comes to the CPL matches. Now, before the matches were televised, the station claimed that they were bringing the games exclusively. And right now I'm thinking that the matches are coming very, very vague, very, very patchy, and very disinteresting indeed, because you're supposed to be getting 2 matches a day one in the morning and one at 5:30. Now, the one at 5:30 is not being televised at all. I don't know for whatever reason. Okay? And GBN Radio is also bringing the matches. But the commentary on radio is very far and few. Why? Because the advertisements, they just come in abruptly, anytime. And you might be listening to a very interesting piece of commentary, and all of a sudden the advertisements just come in like that, and you lose a good bit of it. But the main issue is that if the station knows that they cannot bring something in its entirety, why tell that to the public? Because it's an expectation on my part every afternoon to sit there once the matches are being played in Trinidad, to sit there and wait 5:30 to see it on television. But when that time arrives, all you're seeing is the usual programming, and you get no cricket whatsoever.
Okay.
So I think that the station should at least let us know what is happening.
Okay.
If they cannot bring it, let us know that they cannot bring it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I would seek to inquire again about why the afternoon matches are not shown, and hopefully the broadcast of the CPL matches until the final next week, God willing, would improve from here going forward. Let me see if there are any other comments on social media before I go back to the phone lines. There's one comment on WhatsApp that says, I think there should be a school specifically for the individuals. Well, that's just continuing the discussion we started this morning about reintegrating young mothers back into the school system. The person said, I think there should be a school specifically for those individuals. Also, I think the father should be mandated to attend the class sessions with the pregnant girls. This may get them thinking of their action. It is not shame, but to make them more responsible. Good morning, caller.
Hey, boss, me.
Morning, Tanti.
Yes. No, I think mothers should talk more to their children. No, when you're a child, you're a child. You cannot be a child and be a mother at the same time. Your children are going to go to learn to read and write and to learn something what they learn today, they reap tomorrow. If you're going to be a mother, you want to sit down home. You cannot go to school when you have babies because you become a mother. A child is a child, a mother is a mother. Once you have a child, you become a mother. You cannot go back to school. You have to learn first. You have to know what you want in life. You have to study what you're going up to be. You can't look in for children only. Mothers must talk to their children and let them know what is right and what is wrong. Don't let them grow up ruling you. You are the mother and they are the children. And you have to talk to them and tell them what is right and what is wrong. So when they grow older and they have to start to have children, they will have to stay home from school. They cannot learn. They cannot do nothing because they have a child. You want to be a mother when you have 20, 21 years. You could be a mother, but not when you're 13, 14 years old. You're still a child. You're going to school to learn. If you don't learn something, what are you going to have tomorrow? What would you give that child? When you go to doctor, your mother, children go to school, they go to the doctor. Mom, I'm not feeling too well today, no? You go to the doctor. The doctor say, your daughter is pregnant. Oh, no, you don't want the baby. You're going to take the doctor, give an abortion. Doctors have a lot of answers to give to God because all the lives they're taking in the world from the mothers. It is not right. You're not about your child. When you get them, bring them into the world. God gives them to you as gift, and you must take care of them as a gift of God. Because when they get old and you're old and you can't help yourself, they will help you. So don't let your children go with little boys and so they like little boyfriend, you're around them, yes, them. But they have to understand what is going to become of them when they become a mother. You must stay home. You can't learn. Because you have a child crying home. You cannot say, okay, I'm going to school today and maybe I have a baby home. If you're going to school, you're going to see a child. Your home is a mother. So you cannot go to school when you have babies. You are a mother. You become a mother. You're going to always be a mother. Do not go to school when you're pregnant. Stay home to mind your child. You grow older. You look out for what you want. You study. And you know what you want in life. You have to teach your children that when they grow older. Don't do away with them. Bring them into the world. When God gives them to you, bring them calm. Don't let them rule you when they come into the world. Because they bring them here. Because lots of mothers don't want children. A mother put a baby in a plastic bag in a garbage bin. She threw that child away. A good Samaritan passing and he had his baby crying. When they look at him, there's a baby in a plastic bag. That child in the world today, that child live. Because they take that child from that bag and that child is a world, a boy, a girl. She's still alive in the world. So what mother will sell the children when they do away with them? When you get him, you have to bring him to the wall. If you don't want to come and mother early, do not go and lie down first and get up like little boys go their way. Say, no, I have to learn first. And when I learn after, then I will be a mother.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanti. I take what you're saying, but keep in mind, not all young pregnant mothers do so by choice. Some of our children are still being abused. So while there may be what we call the fast little girls, there are others who didn't want the activity but are forced to. So remember that as well. Let me see what is on WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I would like the government to say when vouchers will be given out. So if they are listening, can they call and say, please, thank you. Another WhatsApper says, how ironic. Children cannot go to the place of worship with their parents if they are under 12 years, but all plans are being made for them to go to school and daycare with strangers for almost the whole day. Point. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, can I go ahead?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
Okay. Now, a lot of us are blaming people, but we must blame ourselves, we must blame the parents. And to some extent, you must know that. I didn't say you should know that if you are a parent and you cannot set good example, for example, I always use the word as you know. If you cannot educate your children, do you not expect them to do the wrong thing? If they see you possible making plenty children, do you think they would they learn by the experience? Do you think that they would do nearly the same thing? If that's I laugh. You would wonder why. If they hear you have a small house and they hear some night a little screeching, some night a little noise, but joyful noise, call it so. Do you think that they may peep in a little hole or in a big hole and see what you are doing and they may start to go and experiment too? As you know, children like to experiment, you know. When I say children, young people then, they might be in a group and they hear how certain things are good, the enjoyment they get from it, and they do not go for take, but they get take. So we have to blame the parents. We have to blame, I don't know, forgive me for saying that, because a lot of people go say, I think I'm educated, but as I said, I'm not educated. Education is very, very important. Even for every single thing you're doing in the world, even this virus, we have to educate the people. Because I believe you, my friend Astray, I believe that some people believe a virus is something big as a fly, or perhaps as a bug. If we educate them, they know how it would occur. For example, I always say, in the All East, sometime last year or year before, they talked about the shelters are reactivated. And after that, the majority of people call in and say, hours opening now, 1 hour's opening. That only tells me that the word is too big for them. Although now you're giving some big words. People have to understand the words in the environment. And this is what is happening. We have to communicate to the different level of the people. This is why we have all this problem, you know. Because a lot of people using words that people cannot, asymptomatic and all them kind of thing. We have to use the ordinary words within the environment, words that people could understand so that they could able to live within the laws. People see people making children, but we have to educate them and tell them, I don't know if we could do it in school, but you have to choose if you're doing it in school at a certain age. Because then if you start telling children about children in school, about making babies and so on, they may experiment. So you still have to know the right age. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Let me go to Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, hold on just a moment. Facebook work with a sister. There we go. Somebody on Facebook says, caller with all, and that's the previous call, I think that was Tanti. Caller, with all due respect, the young girl's lives have not ended. She ought to be given the opportunity to complete her education. And somebody is agreeing with Tanti. Amen to your answer to me. Oh, you're agreeing with me? Sorry. Somebody else is agreeing with what I said, that there are some young girls who do not have a choice because they were abused. Amen to your answer to the last caller. Somebody on WhatsApp says, good morning, please. We would like someone to do something for us. We need the palm in Birch Grove to be cut. It's like we have no one to cut it. A palm tree in the road? Or the branches are in the road? Somebody else on WhatsApp says, good morning. What's the purpose of PAM? I thought that was the purpose of it all. They need to improve or expand the facility and use it. I don't see the need to incorporate them back into school system. Send them to PAM. And somebody on Facebook had asked if PAM was still in existence. It was in 2020, so that was last year. Around this time, actually, around September 2019, government revealed that they had stopped subvention to PAM, or stopped paying subvention or distributing subvention to the institution because of a legal matter. There was a court matter between government and the board of directors of PAM, and that was in March last year. I have not heard if there has been, and following that holding back on the subvention and so on and so forth, the institution shut its doors temporarily last year, and that was in 2019. I have not heard an update if the school has been reopened, if subventions are still being or starting to be repaid to PAM as yet, or if the court case has been completed. I have not heard an update from last year, so I am not sure the current status of PAM. So if there's anybody who knows if PAM has reopened its doors or what's the current status, feel free to let me know, and I would share it with the people who are as ill-informed. Should I say ill-informed? Who are not informed, not ill-informed, who are not informed about the new developments as yet. Back to the phone lines, and then I'll take a break. Good morning, caller.
Oh, yes, good morning to you.
Morning.
And have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
A few things disturbing me. But I would have to agree, knowing that I have a fair understanding of how we get here, that young people are experiencing what they do, that I have to agree with what the government is proposing to have the children, after they make the baby, back to school. I will not rationalize, because I know exactly how we get where we are. And you cannot deny the young people the future. Yes, make your baby, back to school. Take care of your learning. I agree with this. But I still think that is really disturbing me. That is as you open up online and you see this information coming through, and some things you could believe and some things, well, you just brush it back. But there's a lot of things I believe. And it's the vaccine, the proposed vaccine, that is on its way. It seems to me that someone, and you have to say our world leaders, are trying to take our life from us. Because if you're going to propose a vaccine with a chip, which will be able to monitor people wherever they go, I think this is going too far. This is trying to take our lives and to run our lives. And we cannot allow our leaders to do this thing to us. We are human beings. We're not satellite in the sky. We will have to rebel. You know, it's when people start rebelling that they understand whether you cannot do this. So we have to say to these leaders, please, leave us with our life. We don't understand what is really coming down on us with respect to the vaccine. We have our ideas. But be that as it may, leave us with our life. Once you try, please don't go too far, because you're going to get rebellion. I listened to the news then, and what disturbed me so much is to hear in Trinidad and Tobago, there's a law now which will charge children for not wearing, 8-year-old children for not wearing the mask. 8-year-old? A 17-year-old cannot make a decision to have what you call a relationship. But you're telling me an 8-year-old child will be charged for not wearing a mask? To me, this is trying to take the life of the children. This is going too far. You don't say, well, charge the parents. You say, charge the child. What are you going to do with the child? Are you going to put the child in prison? To see an 8-year-old child, a police manhandling an 8-year-old child, as well as manhandling a 40-year-old or 50-year-old person? How would you be able to differentiate those things? This is traumatizing the children. Those are the things we have to speak up with. It upsets me so much when I hear these things, that people trying to take our lives. To our leaders and world leaders, please don't take our lives. As you struggle to manage, please leave us with our lives. Because if you try to do that and you go too far, we, the citizens, are going to rebel. And we don't want this. Please take note. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, caller. On that note, let's take a quick break. And just as a point of clarification to those of you who may have missed piece of what he said in relation to children 8 years and over who are not wearing masks in public will be charged. That's in reference to Trinidad and Tobago, not here in Grenada, just in case there's anybody who did not hear the Trinidad and Tobago part. This is To The Point, Classic and GBN. We'll be right back.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
This is a plastic bag. From February 1st, these bags are not to be used when shopping for food. So here's what you should do. Refuse plastic. Instead, bring your own reusable shopping bags and say goodbye to plastic. Choose to refuse plastic.
Welcome back to The Point. It's open line here on the program where we give our viewers and listeners an opportunity to share anything that is on their mind. This is your opportunity to do so. 435-2041, that's the landline number. That's also the WhatsApp number. Please only written messages on WhatsApp. You can also weigh in on the GBN Television Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Back to the phone lines. Good morning, caller.
Good morning to you, Blossom.
Good morning.
Concerning the pregnancy and the school, I find it is okay if a child reaching Form 5 and they want to finish the studies, do the exam. I find it's fine to allow them to do that. But coming to school for the 9 months pregnant, I don't think that is a good message to, I don't think that is a good way how to carry out that. But it's always good for a child if they didn't have the privilege to finish the school. It's always good for them to allow them to finish their studies because all of us need a second chances. And while I'm here, I just want to say to the ladies, there is some man going around and pretending he come from London and he have all his words set up and he's saying that how he gives churches how much thousands of dollars to churches, to how much thousands of dollars, and he's helping a lot of women and pretending he have a British accent. I just want to tell the ladies to be careful because he is not real, he is a con person. So please, ladies, be careful with the person. He's short and he's dark. He's giving people wrong phone number and wrong names. So ladies, please be careful. He's short and he's dark and he's pretending he have a British accent.
In which community is he going around in?
Well, I heard they say they go into the Pastor Stanford church and the one at Market Hill and they give them almost $1,000 and blah, blah, blah.
So you don't know which community, like which village he's in?
No.
Okay, and what exactly is he asking people for? He's asking people for money?
He said he's giving church almost thousands of dollars and how he's helping ladies and giving ladies this and that and stuff like that, and it is not true. He's a con person. He just want to con people, maybe ladies. So just want ladies tell them to be careful.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that, caller.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We always have to be on our P's and Q's. Not everybody comes with good intentions. So thank you very much for that piece of information, caller. I'm sure there are women and possibly men as well that would appreciate that piece of information. Keep it in mind when you meet strangers on the streets. He might change his accent, so I won't necessarily dwell on the accent part. He might change it to African soon time. Just be careful. All right, let me get to a Facebook comment. Somebody on Facebook says, I want to zero in on Carriacou and Petite Martinique, where the revenue officer is about to resign, and the person who was elected to replace him is the chairman of the NNP branch of the Tri-Island State and also the advisor to the Minister of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I think it is morally and ethically wrong because there are people who work in that office who have the experience to run that office, and the appointment will be a politically exposed person who may not share your political views, could be revenged full. So I am in opposition to that appointment, to that appointee's choice, and who will he be answering to? We have to stop putting people in position because they support the administration, but people who are competent. Let me go to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, a government is elected to manage the affairs of the country. If I hired a person to make a dress for me, I do not expect them to give it to someone else to do the job. There is a lazy spirit in the area. They hand over their responsibility to others in different forms. TAMCC, Nawasa, Post Office, etc. They treat our children as third-class citizens. A pregnant woman, especially the teenage one, should be treated with loving care, protected and supported. PAM is a good idea and should be uplifted and expanded, not scrapped, tossing the responsibility on the already burdened schools and exposing the young fragile women to unsavory comments and attitudes. Good morning, caller.
Blossom, just permit me 1 second.
1 minute.
I've been listening to both the programs this morning, and a lot of people seem to think that those of us who oppose the reintegration is against the young people getting an education. We are not. We are saying the general school is not the place for these young people. They had an institution that they had created for that purpose. Manage that institution and let the young people continue the education. We are not against them. We know that a lot of things that are happening, but we cannot. It is immoral to have them integrated back into the schools. They have to have a place like they had before, PALM, to, manage it. Get competent people. You see, sometimes again, it's because of this political thing. We have certain people in this thing, and so they feel they belong and they own and they could do anything, and they have corrupted everything. But that doesn't mean because that is done, you just abandon it and then put them back in the schools. No. Our society does not call for that. And we want the young ladies to get the education because 99.99% of the time, the young men continue the education if they are school children.
Okay.
Right? So you cannot, because we say no to the reintegration, we are against the children. No, we want them to get the education.
Okay.
I have known many children, young people, who have been pregnant in school and they have a good education now.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Jeremiah. Thank you very much. All right. Back to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I think in Grenada that when it does not happen to you, it is not good until it reaches your home. Then our ideas change. Also, we call ourselves Christians, and yet we don't have compassion toward others. We have to understand poverty plays a great part of teenage pregnancy, and if the school system could give them that second chance to continue their education, what is wrong with that? When I went to school, some of my friends smoked and drank during classes, and I never, up to this day, how many rum shops I passed on the way, did it make me drink? Grenadians are too hypocritical. I think they have the right, and in some cases they fight harder than those in the classes to become something in life. We have to stop coming down on our second chances and educate ourselves. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Blossom. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. I just want to share this. Let me see if it could be probably an idea I could give out because of what I have seen in my community. Where young girls are probably from 2, 3, getting pregnant and having to leave school. What I would like to suggest, other people are calling, yes, and giving good ideas, but what I am thinking to myself, because of what I've seen and still seeing, at the time of pregnancy, as soon as they get pregnant, they should be given a psychological evaluation because some of the homes they come from, yes, is disturbed and cause them to, go outside and look for comfort and love, and they end up like that. They all don't mean the same or to live the same way or lifestyle, but never knowing the home that they're coming from, I would just like to suggest this. And like I said, I have seen young women who ended up doing self-damaging themselves and saying things, doing things that are out of ordinary. Okay? And it's just because I am concerned, because I have a young daughter too, I am just sharing and extending this idea and view. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a good day. Facebook comment, somebody says, pregnant children should go to a separate school for pregnant children. Another comment on Facebook, the health center at Mount Carmel is not for humans. The grass is covering the building. Let me scroll further down on Facebook. There are people from different political parties in different positions in government institutions, so what's the point? Whichever it is, I am sure they are Grenadian. Come on, people, let's stop. Let me go back to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, good morning. There are some young girls who could talk to them how you want. You could show them examples. They're just not listening. To you, you're dropping them in school and they're still running away. I could tell because I have the experience. They're just not listening. Another WhatsApper, the playing field in Birch Grove. I am speaking about the palm in the playing field in Lower Capital, Birch Grove. WhatsApp, good morning. I am in support for the girls to continue their education but not in the same environment because it can and most time cause the downfall of the students. They are ridiculed by students and to a lesser extent by some teachers. Likewise, people in the community, this brings emotional stress to them. I believe a school like PAM is appropriate to assist with childcare and giving them their education. If it is so important to the minister, she should look at the statistics that have occurred before. Many of the girls dropped out for a few years. I had a student who made a baby from a different school, sent to my school, and many students looked at her differently. Eventually, she dropped out. That's not easy for the girls. We need to think seriously if we are helping them or destroying them. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Blossom.
Morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah, I just to support the caller, that lady that spoke about the children should go to a psychological school for evaluation and things, and that is the reason why that these children, when they get pregnant, they should go into a separate place. So once they get pregnant, the first thing they go in and do there is to get a psychological evaluation and teach them about the pregnancy and know everything, and then start the schooling right there. But to mix them with the other children, it's going to bring a lot of other things. It's going to create a lot of other problems. One thing creating the other. And then what I said, the government, as I said already, they're ducking from their responsibility. Build a place, get a place, improve on it. There's modernization, you can do better things. Get a place for these children. They're ducking from their responsibility. One example, I know years ago, they used to have a skills training center in St. David's. And that's a long time, and the government and them, they scrapped that. But right now, in this rural area, if these places and them are operating, they can do a lot for these young children, and especially now with costs. There's so many costs, so expensive, like to pay transport to get there. And right now, presently, I know in a lot of these children are passing these skills training centers. Some of them all in America, England, doing good things right here in Grenada, and that place help them into. We need a lot of skill training places all over the island. Training, teaching, that is what's going to get us there. But this government and them, I don't know, all of them is the same. They're ducking from the responsibility. Same thing with the road. Look at road. You could tell me in the Grenada, we don't have a company paving roads, a Grenadian company. The reason why? All these government and them, everything, they send investors, Grenadians don't want to invest. But they're afraid to invest because other government go in power, different government in power, they victimize you, they tell you can't get that, you can't, and you know how many costs it costing you to start a development as a Grenada or a business as a Grenada. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. And that will be our final caller for the program. Let me just read one or two more comments before we close the program. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I like this one, safe sex education, and that's where I wanted to end. We need to start to teach our young people more about sex education. Notice I didn't say young girls, young people, both boys and girls, about sex education. Sex, the topic, and sex education is treated too much like a taboo topic. People are scared to talk about it. We just tell our young children, no boys and no girls, no sex, and that's it. We're living in a time where they are exposed to things that we do not even know they're being exposed to. With the onset of the internet and electronics and the tablets and the cell phones and the computer and the laptops, which they are using more these days for schoolwork, but you don't know what else they're using them for. I've watched my little 5-year-old nephew and my little cousins who are under 10 just looking for what they're looking for. They're on YouTube and TikTok and so on and so forth, and you never know what they could bounce up, for lack of a better word. Once we educate our children, we could be in a better place. Don't leave it up to school to teach your young children about sex. The responsibility is on parents to teach their children what they know they should be aware of. Don't leave it to other people. We need to teach our young people more about sex education and help them understand the consequences of their actions, the goods, the bads, the benefits, the advantages, the disadvantages. Teach them ourselves and not just tell them, abstain. That ain't working again these days. This abstinence talk, it ain't working. For bad English, it ain't working. Younger children are starting to have sex. Some are being abused, and there are others by, I don't want to say by choice, but because of the elements they're exposed to. You never know. Teach your children, boys and girls, girls and boys, male and female, sex education. Let's help them, please. We're going to end here as we get ready for the CPL match this morning. This morning's game will see the Jamaica Talawas taking on St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. And that match is expected to get underway at 10. There's a pre-game warm-up which starts shortly, and of course the match will be carried live on GBN channel 7, 11 and 20 and right here on Classic 105. To the caller that inquired about the evening matches, I have once again brought up the subject, and once I get a response I will share it with you. Possibly not today, but tomorrow, please the Lord, when I get in, I would share the information that has been shared with me in relation to the broadcast of our evening matches. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Have yourselves a productive and thankful Thursday. CPL is up next. Have yourselves a good one.